Next is the impact of migration. Migration has both positive and negative impacts on the socio-economic structure of the society. Let us take the example of migration between the US-Mexico border. In this location, a large number of illegal immigrant activity takes place. Now, in the US-Mexico border, there are a lot of people who are illegally migrating to the other country. As more and more immigrants enter the country, less jobs are open to the American citizens. But if we analyze on the other side, we find that immigration can be beneficial to a country. Beneficial means it can benefit, it is for the good of the country. Although immigrants have arrived undocumented into the US, they are contributing their labor and hard work towards the US economy. Although there are many people who are illegally migrating to US, but by working there, they are adding to the economy of that country. Therefore, the large number of workers may sometimes give a boost to the economy. It may help in the improvement of the economy of the country. They may contribute in the creation and development of cities in the United States. So there are also the benefits and also the limitations of migration. Now, the migration here, as the people are migrating to America, it is a limitation for the people who are already living there. It is reducing the job opportunity for those people, for the Americans. But at the same time, these people who are moving to America, they are working there. They are working for that country. And in this way, they are improving the economy of the country. Now, some of the advantages and disadvantages of migration in destination countries are as follows. In the destination countries means the country to which you are going from your own country. Advantages: cheap labor. Migrants generally do many unskilled jobs at low wages. At low wages means they get very less money for whatever they are doing. Thus, there will be cheap labor available for different types of services. Skilled labor. Some immigrants are highly skilled and talented. They contribute to the knowledge and production in the interest of the country. So, all the knowledge they have acquired from their own country, they have studied in their own country, isn't it? And then they are moving out to the other country and they are working there. So they are helping the economy of the country there. And this improves the knowledge and the production in the interest of the country. Which country? To the country which they have moved into. Cultural diversity. Immigrants provide diversity at many places. This helps people learn about other ways of life. They come to know what goes on in other places of the world. This helps people to appreciate humanity better. For example, when the Indians, they are migrating to European countries. Now the Europeans, they are not aware of our culture. They are not aware of the diversity we have in our culture. But once the people from India, they are migrating to these foreign countries, they are also carrying with themselves the culture, the diversity of the culture of their country to those countries. And the people living in that country, They come to know about the culture and the diversity of the different cultures of the different countries, isn't it? So this is a way in which our culture can be recognized by the people of other countries. Now, what are the disadvantages? Job loss. Locals often lose job to incoming workers. Thus, immigrants may cause pressure on job issues. Why there is a job loss? Because here we saw that the people who are immigrating, they are working at a cheap labor, isn't it? They are working at low cost. They are also skilled. Therefore, the people of the country, the native people of that country, they are losing their job opportunities. Discrimination and racism. Immigrants can increase racism and discrimination in the country. They cannot speak local language and often find themselves not accepted in the foreign communities. So when you are moving to a country and you don't know the language which is being spoken in that country, then you will not be treated in a very good, well manner by the people of that country. Now here this picture shows how the Indian workers are being exploited in Dubai. You can see this picture. They are overloaded with work and they are not paid in time. So there are many ways in which when you are moving to a foreign country, you can also be exploited. Alright? Social pressure. Prices of certain amenities such as housing, health, education, etc. may increase due to the pressure of excessive demand by more people than it is designed to take. This results in hardship to all. Now there is a pressure on the society also because the housing, health and education, they are all for a limited people of that country only. But when many people are migrating to one country, it poses a overloading threat on these social amenities. Breakdown of culture and tradition. Due to diversity, traditions and culture are negatively modified. Different people are exposed to different ways of doing things. Sometimes new crimes may also emerge. Okay, so there is a breakdown of the tradition and the culture. When you are moving out of your country, you adapt to the culture of the other country. You start following their culture and slowly and gradually you tend to forget the culture of your own country. Some of the advantages and disadvantages of migration to, we just skipped this now, disease. As people move from place to place, there is a risk of outbreak of contagious disease. The best example here is what? The COVID-19. Isn't it? We are struggling, we are fighting with it. How did it spread so rapidly? Because of the people moving from one country to other. The infected people, they moved out of a particular country, they moved into some countries and they carried the virus with them. So the migration, they also, there's a disadvantage that it carries the disease with itself. Isn't it? Next, some of the advantages and disadvantages of migration to the home country are as follows. Advantages. Remittances. Generally, migrants send a lot of money to their family members residing in the home country. This massive flow of foreign exchange is helpful in the development and economic growth of the country. So we have already come across this word remittance. I told you the meaning. It means giving away money in terms of any payment or as a gift. So remittances, what do you mean? That the people who are living in the foreign country, they are sending money to their families in the country. And this exchange of foreign money from the foreign to Indian currency is helping in the economy of the home country. Better job opportunities for locals. As many people immigrate, means moving out of the country, there are more jobs available on the local people. So once people are migrating out of the country, they are also creating job opportunities for the people who are left behind in the country. Thus, there is a less pressure for jobs and people are more likely to find some work to do. Knowledge and skill flow. In case of short-term or seasonal migration, migrants often bring new ideas, skills, and knowledge that they have acquired during the travel. When you're traveling, you see many new things. You come across many new things which you did not see in your own country. So the migrants, they are seeing and learning all those things, and when they come back to their country, they are bringing all those new ideas, skills, and knowledge to their country. Thus, they are able to set up a new business and economic ventures. Now the disadvantages. Loss of skilled labor. This is the biggest negative impact on the country, as many young graduates like doctors, nurses, engineers migrate to other countries. These professionals offer their services to other countries instead of their own home country. So this creates a loss of the skilled labor. There is a loss of doctors, good doctors, nurses, engineers in the home country. Why? Because these people are graduating, they are getting their education, and then they are moving out to a foreign country and they are serving the foreign country. Next, fall in demand for some goods. As more and more people migrate, the population might decrease. As a result, the demand for goods and services may also decrease. If a lot of people are moving out of a country, it will reduce the population of that country. As a result, the demand for goods and services will decrease. Now, social impact. When parents leave, children and other dependents suffer the most. Many children are exposed to social vices. Besides this, elder people do not get proper support from their children. Okay, so because of the parents leaving, they are migrating to the foreign countries, the children and all the people who are left behind, the elderly people, the small little kids, they suffer a lot. How do they suffer? Now, children, when they are not parented properly, when there is no one to look behind them, to take care of them, what happens? They are exposed to the social evils, social vices, the indiscipline in the society, the evil things, the bad things in the society, and they start following those things. Besides this, the elder people of the family, the old people of the family, they also do not get proper support from their children. Migration may be permanent or temporary. In case of permanent migration, migrants do not return to their original place of residence, whereas in case of temporary migration, the person returns to their original place of residence. Whereas in case of temporary migration, the person returns to their home country. So permanent migration, the migrants, they do not return to their home country, and temporary migration, the migrants, they are coming back to their home country. Temporary migration is the common pattern in Europe. Workers from part of southern Europe, North Africa and Turkey migrate for a period to northern Europe in search of jobs. After some time, they come back to their home country because of their close ties, close relations with the people in their home country. They come back to their home country after they have worked in the migrated country. Many people migrate voluntarily for economic reasons. For example, migration from the English countryside to the cities during the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and the 19th century was due to the fact that there were more jobs in the industrial sectors. The United States is a country of immigrants. Means lot of people are moving in to United States. During the 19th and 20th centuries, migration from Europe brought about 41 million people to North America. The main reason behind it was the economic depression in the rural areas of Northern Europe. So there was an economic downfall in the Northern Europe, and therefore these people, they migrated to North America. At first, these migrants were allowed as a whole continent was to be opened up. But later the US government decided to restrict free immigration. In the 20th century, most of the migrants were from Latin America and Mexico. Many entered the country illegally. Now you see picture of the illegal immigration. Deported immigrants climb fence at US-Mexican border. Australia, a vast country, also encouraged the immigration of Europeans only. During the 1970s, Australia offered a home to many refugees from the Southeast Asia. Australia is underpopulated and short of certain categories of skilled workers. So why did Australia offer refugees to come into their country? Because it is underpopulated. The population is very less. And the skilled laborers like the doctors, engineers, nurses, they are also very less in Australia. In some parts of the world, people are not allowed to emigrate, means to move out of their country, due to political reasons, as war in the case of former Soviet Union or the other communist countries. It may also be for economic reasons, such as has been in case of Pakistan, where people in certain professions were not allowed to leave the country. Migration is a universal phenomenon. Means it is a universal process, right? Migration happens everywhere in the world. In 1947, a large number of Muslims migrated from India to Pakistan, while Hindus and Sikhs came into India from Pakistan. This is an example of forced migration. During the division of India, when India was divided into Pakistan and India, a lot of Muslims from the Indian region, they migrated to Pakistan, and lots of Hindus and Sikhs, they migrated to India. This was an example of forced migration. Besides this, rural-urban migration in India takes place due to variety of factors such as marriage, employment, education, and lack of security. India has the highest number of emigrants, means the people who are moving out of the country in the world. Indians have migrated typically to work in higher paid jobs abroad and to study abroad. For centuries, Indians have been emigrating to various countries around the world. So, the Indians are the people who have migrated to many countries, and India has the highest number of immigrants, highest number of people who are migrating to other countries in the world. And why have they migrated? They have migrated to work for higher paid jobs and to study. Now this picture shows how the Hindu migrants from Pakistan to India were forced to migrate after the partition. So after the partition of India and Pakistan, you can see the picture how the people are migrating, isn't it? They were forced to leave their place and move to the other. The people who were in Pakistan, all the Hindus and the Sikhs, they were forced to move to India, and all the Muslims in India, they were forced to move to Pakistan. Now, two common patterns of emigration include mainly to the industrialized countries, particularly the UK, US, Canada and Australia. Direct towards the oil-rich West Asia country. Okay, so these are the two common patterns of emigration. Patterns means the direction or the place where people are emigrating. The first is the industrialized country, UK, US, Canada and Australia. And the second is the oil-rich countries, the countries which are rich producer of oil. So here we'll stop for today. Alright children, now you have to listen to this and read the chapter also. Only listening won't help you. You have to read the chapter and underline the words which you don't understand. Alright, and in the next class we'll start with brain drain. Alright, so have a nice day and take a good care of yourself.